What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to episode 8 of Drafting the Masters. Last time we squeaked our way into Diamond, and this time we hope to actually start our climb through Diamond. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's greatly appreciated, and it's really nice to have my YouTube channel growing. Without further ado, let's get into our next draft. What a pack one, pick one. Ava is just a busted card, and it's better than everything else in the pack, so it's an easy Ava here for me. Her creating extra tokens, extra flyers. She can just become a flying force on her own, basically. Second pick is a little bit more interesting. We have some choices here like Longhorn Treasure, which is better the earlier you take it, but there's not a lot of endurance cards in Primal, so I don't love that. Living Offering, which is a solid 2-drop, and Pseudo Removal. Could also take Final Shot for some huge top end, but don't really love that. Other options, I don't think any of the commons are worth taking over Living Offering, so I'm just going to take the Living Offering here. Alright, next we've got Shame Bear at the 2-drop, another one of those guys that'll guarantee you tribute, which is important when you're playing Ava. We've also got Master at Arms, which is one of the best commons in the set, and I think it's the pick here. Interesting to note that there are no time cards at all in this pack. So this could be a signal that fire is wide open, but I'm pretty happy just taking this Peacekeeper's Helm here. I think Rika would be the other option, but since we already have Master at Arms, we're happy to pick up Peacekeeper's Helm here rather than venture into a fourth color. Lethri's Secret Weaver is a 3-drop for 3. It is double primal, so could be difficult on the influence. Other choices would probably be Guard Dog, which is just a 3/3 for 3, so I might as well take the extra text of Secret Weaver, because we definitely want to be in Primal given that we have Ava. Shugo Standard comes through. Don't think we want to take that here. Other options are Campfire Watchman, which will just hold the ground while we gain some value with Secret Weaver and Ava. Other choice is Reinforced Baton, and I think I'm going to take the Watchman here. Could take another tribute card with Iron Fist Faithful, but if you don't tribute it, it's pretty dang weak. It's just a 1/1 for 1. Heirloom Blade, also don't love that. Maybe it's best to just take Cerso's Choice here. Maybe we end up splashing it, but I don't really like the other 2 Justice cards here. Savage Denial I don't think is very good, but maybe we play it. Maybe we're more likely to play it over Spire Spellsword, since there are a lot of tricks in the format, and this stops them from happening basically. So we'll take the Savage Denial here. Don't think any of these cards will make our deck, so we'll take the Last Rites. Here we'll take Downfall as some removal. Another Last Rites, and Spire Spellsword. So right now I would say we're in Huru, and so we want to continue down that Huru path. Cards that we should look at in this pack are Psionic Savant. It's good top end. There's also just Wisdom of the Elders, which is good card draw. We've got Yeti Snowslinger for a decent 2-drop that is also has the potential to be removal, and we've got Valkyrie Aspirant. For me, I'm going to take the Psionic Savant here and solidify our top end in Primal. Would love to have these other cards, but we're more likely to see them again than another Savant, so we'll take Savant. Auric Sentry is fantastic for us, can get a War Cry train going, really hard to stop, very good with Master at Arms. Mirror Image is also pretty good, but I'd rather just have Auric Sentry, that's always good on its own. Punter is great if you have Yeti synergies. We don't have any yet, but it is very early, so we could definitely come by them. Other choice is Minotaur Oathkeeper. I think Minotaur Oathkeeper is going to be my pick here because we already have those other 5 drops. We don't necessarily need the Yeti synergies to make this deck better, and a third 5 drop is pretty difficult to fit into the deck. Alright, what's great to follow a Minotaur Oathkeeper up with is a solid 2 drop, so we'll take the Argenport Soldier here and keep it moving. A second Auric Sentry is fantastic. Better than Crafty Yeti here, I would say. Alright, we don't have any of the Yeti synergies yet, so Slope Sergeant doesn't really make sense. I'm going to take Yeti Troublemaker here. I don't think I want this banner. The only thing I would potentially splash is Cerso's Choice, and I don't think we really need it right now, so Troublemaker it is. Jotun Cyclops would be very happy to have that. I think this card's great, and especially in this meta, your opponents always question, are they trying to tribute? Are they trying to spark? So I love cards like this. Valkyrie Militant is fine here. Don't think we're playing Northwind Herald, but we're also probably not playing Herald Song, but I think Herald Song is more likely to make the deck since we have this Lethrai Secret Weaver, so we'll take that. And then some quick autopilot picks here. Jump Kick might make the deck, and Twilight Hermit will not. Alright, so Silverwing Familiar is pretty good here. I think our other option is Winter's Grasp, and don't have a lot of Nightfall synergies at this point, so don't think it makes a lot of sense to take it here. So I think we will take the Silverwing Familiar in this spot. Island's Choice is very good removal and takes care of those big threats that you otherwise can't deal with. So I think it makes sense to take it here over these 2 drops. Spirit Blade Stalker is pretty good too. Lightning Strike is fantastic for us. It is the more defensive option over Strength of Many, but I think it makes sense to take Lightning Strike here. We have a couple options here. Spirit Blade Stalker is pretty good, as is Sky Snapper. Those would be the 2 that I'm looking at here. Right now we've got quite a few big butts on the ground between Campfire Watchmen, 2 Auric Sentries, so it might make sense just to take Sky Snapper because we want to be more aggressive in the air and just overwhelm them there. So I'm going to take Sky Snapper. Crown Watch Legionnaire probably fits into this big butts theme that'll hold the ground while we finish them off in the air, so I think it makes sense to take this here. There could be argument for Backlash, but we already have Savage Denial. Could also take Cobalt Waystone, but don't think the Face Aegis is that impactful in draft, so I'll just take the unit here. I think I'll take a second Jump Kick before I take a second Militant. We'll take Ground Crew, doubt we'll play it. Snowslinger's great for us. Don't think we want Yeti Spy. Could also have Town Watchman, just another big butt that'll hold the ground, so I think I'd rather play Town Watchman over Yeti Spy. Wisdom is a great pickup here. Quick autopilot picks. Bring Down will make the deck. So looking good so far. So before we jump into this pack, let's do a quick unit count to make sure we're on track and so we know where we need to fill in our gaps. So we're at 17 units at the moment, and only I think 3 or 4 of those are 2 drops, so we really need to shore up that slot. Otherwise, we're doing pretty good. So I think Gale Prowler makes the most sense here over this Snow Rager. Downfall could also be an option, but we already have 1. I don't think we'll play 2, so I'm just going to take Gale Prowler here. Don't think Gift of Battle makes the deck. Don't really like Crown Watch Recruiter. Portent Reader. We have a couple things with Echo, like Yeti Troublemaker and Herald Song, but I still don't think that's enough to make this card good, so I'm just going to take Rotor Cycle because this card almost always makes your deck. Hail Shrieker is a 2-drop for us. We know we need 2 drops, so it makes sense to pick it here. Read the Stars is additional card draw. Don't know if that's great for us. It might make the deck, but probably not. Here, Entangling Vines, I think, is probably the best card. Resolute Paladin is okay, but Entangling Vines can just potentially win you the game. A changey stick comes through. We're happy to see that, so we'll take that for sure. Rabid Yeti makes sense here as a pseudo removal and just a pretty decent 3-drop. Dusk Greater, that's super late. We're really happy to see that for a 2-drop. We'll take the Cliffside Caretaker. Probably doesn't make the deck though. Don't think we'll play Recruiter, so we'll take Torrential Downpour and think about it. And then we'll take this Enraged Arachnodon and Snow Rager. Alright, so we ended up with a lot of playables in this deck. Next thing we gotta do is make cuts. And I think some of the easy ones to do first are Torrential Downpour, Read the Stars, Herald Song. I think that's a start. We want both those attachments. And let's look at the units next. I don't think we want Snow Rager. I think all the 1s and 2s are reasonable, because this leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1 and 2 drops. I like that amount. Next is the 3-drop slot. I think Legionnaire is very similar to Auric Sentry, but just strictly worse. So I'll probably just take Legionnaire out here, since I like my other 3-drops. At the 4-drop slot, I like Rotor Cycle, Cyclops, Militant, and Troublemaker, so Gale Prowler is an easy out. 5 drops, I like Ava, I like Savant, so Caretaker can go away. I think actually both Watchman and Arachnodon can go. They're not adding a whole lot to the deck. We already have a good enough top end, and our plan is really just to hold the ground early and then finish them in the air. And I think we have plenty of tools to do that. I don't think either of these add to that plan. So we'll take those out. And the last thing to do is maybe cut 1 more unit, and then we're probably looking at spells for the other cuts. Right now I see this as a 17 power deck, so we don't have anything that gives us good flood protection except maybe Secret Weaver, but that's pretty situational, so I wouldn't rely on that as flood protection. So I think it makes sense to only play 17 power in this deck. As far as spells that can get out of here, I think we want to take out Jump Kick and Savage Denial, and then we would have the deck. Alright, let's get power added to the deck. Make sure there's not anything we're missing. There isn't. It's suggesting a 10-7 split. We do have quite a few double primal cards. The only double justice card we have is Master at Arms. So I think it makes sense to do the 10-7 split here, because we have quite a few double primal cards. Alright, I think this is what we're going to go with. To close out the video, I just want to say thanks for joining me in episode 8's draft. I hope you'll also join me for the games video next to see how the deck actually performs.